Nazareth.
Hey, welcome back to the Sunday Serving Channel, a place you come every week for words of hope from the gospel. But what could be more hopeful than this series we're doing here in Israel, in the Holy Land, seeing the different sites. And here we're walking down the street leading to Capernaum. How do you say that in Greek, Hebrew, or Hebrew?
In Hebrew, you would say Capernaum.
Capernaum.
The village of Nahum. It was a Jewish village in Jesus' time. It's where Peter's wife's family, his mother-in-law lived. So after Peter got married, he came here. That church that looks like a spaceship is a modern Catholic church built over an ancient Catholic church from the 3rd century AD, which is to commemorate a possible place where Peter might have lived after he got married. Again, we don't know for sure, but what we do know is the house that's under there is from Jesus' time, and there's a very early Christian tradition that Peter lived there. So it's again pretty likely. This synagogue that you see behind us dates to the 4th century AD, the 300s. It's built directly on top of the synagogue from the 1st century. In terms of archaeological sites, this is apparently the biggest synagogue in the whole country that's been discovered on an archaeological site. Wow. So again, it's not from the 1st century, but it's a really, really old synagogue. And it's built on top of the 1st century synagogue. But then all around here, you can see there's ruins in different layers, and the bottom layer is from the Roman period, from 1st century BC to 1st century AD. Houses, industrial buildings. Yeah. I want to read 2 stories here from Matthew 8. The first is the healing of the centurion's servant. We don't know whether the centurion actually lived in Capernaum. He might have. It's also likely that he lived in Bethsaida, because Bethsaida was a Roman town. But the conversation between him and Jesus happened here. This is Matthew 8:5. When he entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him, appealing to him and saying, "Lord, my servant is lying at home, paralyzed in terrible distress." And he said to him, "I will come and cure him." The centurion answered, "Lord, I am not worthy to have you come under my roof, but only speak the word, and my servant will be healed. For I also am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. And I say to one, 'Go,' and he goes, and to another, 'Come,' and he comes, and to my slave, 'Do this,' and the slave does it." When Jesus heard him, he was amazed and said to those who followed him, "Truly I tell you, in no one in Israel have I found such faith. I tell you, many will come from east and west and will sit with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, while the heirs of the kingdom will be thrown into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." And to the centurion, Jesus said, "Go, let it be done for you according to your faith." And the servant was healed at that time. And then this is the story of Jesus healing Peter's mother-in-law, which, again, might have happened right over there. We don't know, but that's one possibility. When Jesus entered Peter's house, he saw his mother-in-law lying in bed with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she got up and began to serve him. That evening they brought to him many who were possessed with demons. He cast out the spirits with a word and cured all who were sick. This was to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet Isaiah. He took our infirmities and bore our diseases. So we're standing here in Capernaum. Again, we talked yesterday on our bell. After Jesus left Nazareth, this was his home base for the entirety of his ministry until he came to Jerusalem at Easter time. So this is a really, really, really important place.